All right, how's it going, everybody? My name is Mark, and I wanted to do something different in a video content, and I hope you share this video with as many people as you can if you're up to doing that. But once again, my name is Mark, and I call my channel Mark's Music Plays. Let me see this light. I'm about to redo that light switch. Please subscribe and hit the bell, and you'll get more video notifications. And of course, you can post some comments and things like that. But what I want to talk about. Oh, I didn't know that was on a. What I wanted to talk about was I think that I like this patch right here. Yeah, it's a nice sounding. That's different. But what I wanted to talk about was basically, no matter what it is that you're making choices in life, do your research, because now with the internet and YouTube and Google, it's out there. It's a lot of great information out there. And the point of my video, which I don't want to be very, very long on this, is just remember, nothing in life that you think that you want to pursue, nothing in life is what you think it is. Not telling people not to pursue certain career fields or goals or aspirations, but just remember, it's always more to it behind the scenes than you are aware of. Most people don't put out the content. There are some people that do put videos out there, and they will tell you exactly what the real deal is, but most people never look to go to those videos to really find out about what it is they're pursuing. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, I made a video about the real truth about the music industry. The real truth about what the music industry was the fact that everyone would see, and this is probably from an inexperienced side that we all look at when we look at things in life. We look at it from an inexperienced view because we don't have any experience in it when we're trying to look at something in life that we're pursuing. Whether it's a music career, trying to be a police officer, a fireman, a hairdresser, working at Walmart, working at a fast food place, working at a department store, working in sales, working a commission job, working construction, or whatever. A lot of people will just learn to endure when they realize all the stuff is exposing them. It's all the stuff that you didn't realize is exposing itself to that person. They just learn. Some people learn to endure it. Other people, they say, you know what, I can't deal with this. I'm done. So it really depends on the person. But what I wanted to say is, this is just a life lesson learned, especially for young. This is really targeted to younger people, especially those that are coming out of high school. Because it's easy when you're in high school and you're staying at home with your parents, and all you're doing is going to school, and even then you think going to school sucks. Here's the thing about high school, and I'll start with high school. High school is like the police academy or basic training for the military, or the initial stuff that you learn. The problem after you realize, once you leave high school, you realize majority of stuff in high school is kind of irrelevant till you actually get to the college level. And even then, getting a college degree is so overrated. Because really, what it boils down to is degrees, especially with an undergrad, like a bachelor's degree, is there just enough for you to put on a resume just to get you an interview. In today's society, how the whole degree processes work was, if you go back a couple hundred years ago, most people didn't have anything more than a fourth or fifth grade, maybe sixth grade education. People used to graduate from elementary school and then they went and start working for their father's country store or work in the fields or, whatever the case. We didn't become an industrial factory type of country until like the 1900s. Late 1800s, where they started building more factories. We were more farmer, agriculture type of country then. This is the United States. So it really, you don't need a whole lot of you really didn't need that was kind of gross. You really didn't need a lot of education to work fields. You just you needed to learn how to do that, so they invented high school. The high school, as we start getting more commercialized, more industrialized, the high school diploma, that's why it became high school. There's a higher level of schooling. So the higher level of schooling, now, instead of you having an sixth grade education, the high schoolers would have a 12th grade education, whatever case, that would separate them so they can actually go work for a company. And once everyone started getting high school diplomas, they moved to associate's degree minimum. Then it became a bachelor's degree. Then it became master's degree. Then it became PhDs and doctrines and all that. So it just separates education level, but there's also the work experience level. This is a whole different video. So I don't want to, because I'll go 4 hours. There's not enough time in this video. So my point, what I'm trying to say is this. Just remember, it's like, for example, I'm going to throw a few jobs. I'm going to throw a few things. Like the military. People don't tell you, even though I did 20-something years in the Army, what people don't tell you is all the stuff that everyone in the Army knows about, but no one really puts out a lot of content about the reality of what you're going to face when you join the Army. And I'm not talking about deploying and going to war and all that. That's the obvious. If it's a war, you're probably going to deploy, because that's anyone that joins the military think that I can join the military and think that you're not going to be involved with some deployment or some, that's what the military is for. It's for combat action. It's designed for that. I don't care, but a lot of people that, because they, the military, I was a recruiter, so you throw all the other, it's the extra stuff that you get from being in the military that is exploited. It's designed to entice you to join the military, but in reality, you're doing a job that supports combat action. Period. Here's the things about the military that you don't, that's never discussed. Chances of promotion, it's slow promotions. It can be a chance where you might not get any awards. Toxic leadership, power, because these are people that get promoted and they are in positions, whether officer or enlisted, sergeants and above, that power trip, because that's the rank. Rank has tremendous power in the military, but it has zero power as a civilian. It's only, it's the same thing with rank in the police department, whatever the case may be, or fire department, or a ranking system, or based on a position, whether you work in a hospital, whatever. Someone who's your boss, whether they're a manager, the chief of operations, or whatever, HR department, whatever the case may be. So here's the thing, so the heart of my video is like this. I'm trying to make a point that just remember, anything that you're pursuing, it's always more to it And there's always a lot of cons. There's a lot of pros and there's a lot of cons. The cons aren't discussed enough to get people to become fully knowledgeable and aware of what they're getting themselves into, whether it's starting a business. You know, you can start a business, you know, a lot of us even, you know, we got a lot of the factors that even starting, let's say you start a recording, let's say your main focus is I want to build a recording studio. The fact is your money in commercial studios, let me, because so much stuff is coming to my brain so fast to explain this. I.e., example, a commercial studio. A commercial studio, yeah, it seems glamorous because of all the gear, the way it's built, the lights, the recording console, the outboard gear, the microphones, the control room, the live room. And that seems awesome and dandy, but the point is that it does no good if you're not recording anybody. And the problem with recording studios is that everybody's competing with each other because this is how they make money. It does no good to have this great facility with 3, 4, 5 control rooms, live rooms, all that gear. You got no clients, no business, no money. And especially if you got a recording studio where you don't own a building, where you have to pay rent, lease, lights, water, insurance, gas, you know, the lights, the water, the gas, the water bill, the insurance, the lease, still pay on the gear and everything else. You're paying all this and you spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and you got 0 clients. Guess what's going to happen? Before you know, you're shut down. That's why so many of these top-notch studios have closed because of clients or lack thereof. This is the kind of stuff, and then on top of that, with the recording studio, they don't tell you you can have, in the music industry, the clients, you're going to get some characters that's going to rub you the wrong way. You're going to get some clients that come in there, they're tearing up stuff. Some clients come in there drunk, some come in there high. Some, you know, sometimes some clients you have to put out, some clients you won't book, some clients don't want to pay. It's a whole lot of stuff. That's just one factor. It's like when I was like in the military. You know, in the military, what they don't tell you about is there's still racist people in the military. There's still biased people in the military. Promotions can still be slow. You know, it's when you're busting your butt and it's not a fair recognition system. Some people do well at getting promoted and moving through the ranks, while other people don't move through the ranks and they get frustrated. They're like, well, I'm doing just as good, you know, or I go into a long rant. Don't get me started on the military. But here's the thing. When I look at this is what I learned. I'm over 50. In life, you have to do your research. Like, let's say you want to be a truck driver. Yeah, you're all excited about going to truck driving school, and then you realize that they don't tell you stuff like how truckers are always on call, or they're mandatory rest periods that they have to take, even though, or they're inadequate amount of rest because they're on pressure to get these trucks to one location to another. The trucks break down. The amount of cost to run a truck and stuff like that. They don't tell you that. Or being a police officer. They don't. Yeah, it's great seeing, you know, people see police officers. When they see a police officer, they see a police officer or maybe around the police station, maybe around the courts, or maybe driving in patrol cars. Sometimes the police officers are sitting on the side of the road, but they don't tell you what police officers don't tell you is what the stuff they see that the average person that's not a cop don't see, such as they might go in there and there'll be a 6-year-old child in there and both parents are then OD'd on drugs, and the kid, or walking into the house has got filth. There's maggots and roaches and bugs all over the place. The milk is rotten because the parents is on crack or meth or whatever, or the parents are abandoned, or all kinds of there's so many stuff. Or you walk on the scene and there's dead kids because the kid's been dead because the parent choked the kid, and it's been sitting in the closet, rotting and decomposing for over 3 months. Or you walk into a big situation where the husband is beating the wife, or the wife is sitting there, or whatever, or the woman, she's, whatever the case. Or, they go on the scene where they arrive on the scene and, somebody been ran over by a car and their intestines over there and their legs over there, whatever the case. Or this is the kind of stuff that's not explained. It's, or a fire department, same thing. They walk in there and, they put a fire out. By the time they get the fire out, they realize there's a charcoal body that burnt up in the body, in the fire. Or, a dead animal that couldn't be rescued, a cat or a dog, or whatever the case. So the fire department's walking there and they try to put out the fire and they go into the building, and all of a sudden the roof collapses on top of the fire department, and it's just a lot to it. The same thing with being an EMT or ambulance driver, and I keep saying because most people don't know. That they'll get on the scene and they're trying to rush a patient to the hospital, and the patient succumbs right there in the ambulance. They die. They don't tell you this stuff. Or the doctor's sitting there in the ER trying to save this patient, and they die. It's kind of like, I look at I'll do one famous story. It's kind of like when President Kennedy got shot in the head in this assassination in Dallas. And they got him to park in the hospital. He wasn't dead when he got shot in the hospital. He was going to die because it was a fatal wound. It was, but he didn't die instantly. Most people would die instantly, but he didn't die instantly. He was still breathing when he got to the hospital. Now, they were sitting there trying to, do the tracheotomy and all this, the trach to the throat and all this stuff, trying to get him to breathe, control his breathing and all that, and then he just all of a sudden and that was it. And they said, okay, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. at Parkland Hospital, blah, blah, blah. Central Standard Time, blah, 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 blah. They announced it. To be a doctor and see the President of the United States die right in front of you, it's stuff like that. They don't tell you. It's like when a patient trying to save a gunshot wound victim or something like that. Hairdressers, they don't tell you, it's all great to be a hairdresser until you realize you're dealing with some customers that want to sue you because you think they damaged your hair. Or a barber, the same thing. You go in there in the bar, you get a fight, the guy get in a fight with the barber because he think the barber messed up his hair. Or just working in customer, working as a as a sale, you might work as a cashier at a bank or in a department store or whatever the case, and you deal with irate customers, or you can work in or you can work in a fast food restaurant and not realize, somebody coming there want to complain, the food was cold, these French fries are cold, where's the manager? This hot, you messed up my order, and the person on the front counter got to deal with this. Someone that, they didn't get the order right. And a lot of times the customers don't understand when they pull up to the drive-through, sometimes the speaker system that the person is taking, hi, welcome to Sister, can I take your order? And they hear, yes, can I order here, or order with a Big Mac with a large fries and a large shake? That's what they're hearing. The customer doesn't realize that because the customer hears, hi, welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order? They hear that through the speaker, and then when the customer, because some people cool there with like my car, like my Mustang's loud, so all you hear, you're trying to hear that over top of the engine, and they can't hear. It's stuff like that. Or they come around and they think, can I get you say root beer, whatever. They thought you said, can I get a Dr. Pepper? You thought they said Dr. Pepper when they said root beer or whatever. So they mess up the order in the cut. You get the stuff in the drive-through and the order's messed up and they get mad. They come back and they don't go back to the drive-through. Some people do. Some people go in and they messed up my order. I asked for 3 Big Macs and 2 fries, and they only gave me 1 Big Mac. Well, it sounded like 1 Big Mac, So my point, to sum up my video, and what I'm saying, the whole point of what I'm trying to make in this video is like even with the music industry. Yeah, they never told you Most people thought the music industry looked glamorous because, celebrities look rich, especially with the videos. Now I realize half the cars in those videos are rented. Rolls Royce and the people, those rappers or singers, they don't own those cars. They're doing it for looks to make you look like the music industry is more glamorous than it really is. Sometimes it's kind of like when they expose MTV Cribs. Realize those were rented mansions. Those weren't celebrities because really, in actuality, celebrities are not going to show you where they live for real. They're not. They're going to get all kinds of stalkers and all kinds of people. They realize they live in these mansions that they're showing on MTV Cribs or whatever they go. People find that they realize, you get all these crazy people because, I know where that at. I know where that's at. And I'm going to go storm and realize that was a rented mansion by some business owner or whatever the case. They don't. Some of them celebrities. Not saying that some celebrities don't have nice houses, nice cars. Some do, but a lot of new artists. That's another video. I don't have enough time to explain why celebrities are not as rich as you think they are. People think that celebrities are rich because the music industry and the record labels put on a persona to make you think. A lot of celebrities weren't making money unless they were touring, because the people that were making the most money was the record labels when they were doing CD sales, and 80% of the sales went to the record label, not to the artist. Only 20% went to the artist, and the 20% that the artist got, they had to pay everybody. They had to pay the manager, the road manager, the artist manager, the business manager, the lawyer, and they also had to pay back their advance, the touring support, and all that. And that 20%, so they had to pay the rest of it back through the touring. And that's it. They don't take it, just because an artist tours doesn't mean everyone's going to go to that artist's show. It's so much to life. It's so much to life. And I guarantee a lot of people can relate with their job that they're probably watching. People that are watching this video right now probably can realize, what? That is true. No matter what your job is, there's always some BS behind the scenes, whether it's dealing with customers or it's dealing with co-workers or some jacked up boss you got or whatever the case may be. So to sum up the video, because I know it was a long video, this is kind of a rant video, but it's the truth. It's about life. Even if you go to church, you got some phony people in church, fake ministers, some hypocrites. They trying to act like they're holier than thou when they still, shacking up and sleeping around and going in clubs and all that, but they in church lifting up holy hands. Praise Jesus. Yeah. They doing all this stuff in church and all that, and it's just as phony as they want to be. They lie behind your back. They talk about people. They want to talk about what people are wearing. Churches that's another, and it's not just the black churches. It's the white churches. That it's kind of like, I look at, you can have a black church and you have this woman, the black lady in the church looking at, I know she didn't wear that dress, and she making these funny eyes. Well, don't think that it's a black church. You go to white church and the same white looking at her, but she may not be rolling her eyes, thinking with her eye, but in her head she's thinking, I know she ain't wearing that dress trying to compete with the man I'm trying to get. That's not a race thing. It's a woman thing. It's a competition thing. And don't even talk about marriages and relationships, because people think, relationships and marriages. Well, why do you think that people have had more than one boyfriend and girlfriend in their life? You that girl or guy that you dated in high school, y'all ain't together. That first marriage or second marriage, whatever the case, you get married, you divorce. You find someone else, y'all break up, you find someone else. People have gone through 5, 10, 25 relationships. There's, TV where you have the guy that fell in love with his high school sweetheart, and they stayed married until they were 99. That is like the 1%. The 90 out of 9%, that's why the marriage rate and the divorce rate is like over a 50% divorce rate. So you're talking over divorce rate, and the failure rate for a second marriage is like even higher. People are like, oh man, so don't, even relationships are more than what people think it is. So I'm going to wrap the video up. All I'm saying, to summarize my video, out of all this, I just want people to realize you need to do your research on anything that you're pursuing in life. I don't care if this is a relationship, music industry, being a cop, fireman, hairdresser, working in sales. I'm gonna tell you, when you work in sales, you're gonna deal with some irate customers that are just gonna rub you the wrong way. I don't care if construction. They don't talk about the dangers of construction. How some people could be working on a 10-foot story construction. And people have fallen and died. One of the most dangerous jobs in the world is climbing those 2,000-foot towers, changing the beacons. Life is, this is what is not told about things in life when people are pursuing stuff in life. And I'm not telling people don't do anything. I'm just saying be real aware. Just like you should watch a video on Amazon drivers. The real truth about Amazon drivers or UPS drivers or FedEx drivers or working for the post office. There's so many. Let's find out the real deal about career fields and life and relationship, churches and religion and everything else, and it'll make you more consciously. It'll make you wiser, and realizing this is what I'm going to have to deal with, and am I going to want to deal with this? So that's gonna do it for this video. I know it's a long video. It's not enough time in this video to explain in depth every single thing in life, but it's a lot to stuff that out there that you have to become aware of, that will broaden your thoughts to say, okay, you know what? I wasn't aware of this, where I'm going to become a truck driver or what. It all seems exciting until you find out the real deal. You're like, oh, I didn't know that. Other than that, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great one.